Hey guys, welcome back. Maverick here with another episode of Shaman King. So, last episode we had Hal take on one of the teams of X-Laws, where they tried to do like a suicide attack, although to no avail, right? Hal was just simply too strong, too fast, too overpowered. And I guess the big thing that happened at the end of last episode is with Yo starting to go into, okay, who actually Hal is, and he's probably going to reveal a lot more stuff in this episode to Ren and the others. Obviously, to us viewers, it isn't really too much of a surprise anymore. Even if you are a first-time viewer here, all the way back in episode 1, they already kind of revealed like Hal's relation to Yo in a lot of ways, right? But maybe I can't quite remember. Maybe they'll go a little bit more into Hal's past here and why exactly he wants to, he wants to become the Shaman King and so on and so forth. I can't quite remember. So let's just get right into the episode. All right, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. By the way, that is a like that is a big hand grenade, right? Like normal hand grenades cannot have that kind of firepower. It's a holy hand grenade. まあ, you gotta admit though, he looks fly. Right? He's the edgy Yo, in a sense, right? They're quite similar in their looks and whatnot. Just you know, how is the like cool guy, and Yo is the laid back guy. Da, 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 da. I seem to recall that. No, never mind. Actually, I'm waiting for the opening to change. Not that I wanted to change, but since the ending changed already, I have a feeling that the opening should have a change as well. I mean, it changed in the original Shaman King series, so it should here as well. Obviously, I'm still expecting Hayashibara-san to sing it. Hayashibara Megumi, the voice actress of Anna, and the singer of the song. It's a spirit of water. Well, I guess not quite spirit of water, but still. This is the Onmyoji kind of stuff here. The 5 elements and how they relate to each other. Which came from an ancient, like, Chinese practice, man. Yeah. Yeah. This means how they counter each of them. And this is how they create each other. And pretty much as he explains. Again, this kind of comes from this came from ancient China, the practitioners, and it eventually became like the sort of basis for the Taoist religion, actually. Not Taoism, not the philosophy of Taoism, but the sort of religious practice of Taoism, which is like actually two distinct things. No, even more than all this, though. Hold that thought. All as the Great Spirit wills it. Although I guess holy power kind of falls outside the elements, right? If it is holy power, of course. I never really got the entire, us. This is an Asakura family matter, and so on and so forth. Kind of a situation. Because obviously, regardless of he wants to, regardless of if they think, if Yo thinks that this is a family matter or whatnot, and this is something that he has to carry the burden of himself. I mean, Hal is already about to, like, his actions already has consequences on the world. So, it's really more of a everybody thing. Soul Eater. Ah. Well, it is indeed not exactly a Western knowledge, right? Like I said, it was originally practiced by, like, I guess you could say the equivalent to shamans in Chinese culture, and then expanded into Japan as well. I like how they think somehow videotaping it is gonna make a difference. That's also that's also something like quite quite naive of him. Ho ho. Yo, it's just yo. Such is a microcosm of life. Hmm. And of course, again, we kind of already knew this from the very first episode of this series. I can't. I actually can't remember, like, if the manga actually started out with this revelation. I can't quite remember. True. Oh. No shit. Is this the grandpa? I can't quite remember. Yep. Yeah, right? And this is going back to episode 1. So I do think that in the original manga and what, I can't quite remember, but I don't really think it happened this early on. You would think that with such a large and powerful reincarnation, you'd probably know the instant the child comes out, right? But, I mean, now let's just go along with the story, right? Oh, hey! Mika. I actually don't quite remember a hospital scene here. Alright, alright. And yeah, it seems that they're using the original voice actors and voice actresses for dad and mom as well. You can clearly hear the age in their voices. Yeah, like I'm really sorry, but the voice acting just, the age of the voice doesn't really match with the one, the screen. But, you know, I've said since the very beginning, right? This is more of a series for fans, so including the original voice actors as well. That's something that people feel a lot of nostalgia to. Hey. Nope. Oof. OP. I mean, to their credit, they still actually, even all this, they still allowed him to be born and live. Eh. And hey. Alright. So, I'll see you guys after this. Alright guys, so with this episode, we finally get to learn the entirety of what exactly Hao is, who exactly Hao is, and his relationship to Yo, right? If not, of course, it had already been spoiled to us in the very first episode. So I actually quickly went back and checked the manga, and indeed, in the manga, they did not explain this in the early chapters and whatnot. So they actually only explained it within this episode. But again, because all the way back in episode 1 of this readaptation, they kind of like spoiled everything already. We already saw the scenes there, right? They're being born and twins and whatnot, so on and so forth. So it was already kind of sort of put out into the open. But yeah, in the manga, it was a pretty big reveal. Although, I mean, anybody honestly with any slightest of imagination could probably piece together that Hao and Yo were related somehow, being that they look so similar. Heck, they even mentioned it, and it was the cause of some of some memes and whatnot, right? Well, I guess not quite memes, but they were playing around with it, making fun of it. So yeah, anyways, that situation, I do believe that, no, as was stated here as well, the grandpa was actually saying that, oh, he actually kind of hesitated a little bit, whilst trying to kill Hao, and so that's why he got away and whatnot. But in all honesty, I don't think he could have done anything about it. Hao is just Hao, right? He is like way too strong. Of course, he knows that there are these kinds of divination abilities, and he knows that, you know, it is very possible people will be lying in wait to get him already the moment he is reincarnated, right? This is his family after all. Don't even though they are sort of, it is kind of confusing in a lot of ways. Like, he is part of the Asakura family, right? Even 1,000 years ago, he does carry the Asakura name, not only in this reincarnation, but the actual true form of him even 1,000 years ago as well, right? These are his descendants. He knows full well, what exactly this family is of, what they are capable of, and their abilities, and so on and so forth. So, it's really hard for them to stop him, because in a way you could say that everything that they know is really taught to them and used to them and really passed down from Asakura, right? He's the one who invented all these techniques and whatnot. Actually, I think, did he actually already mention this before? I can't quite remember. Right. Again, some of these things like get kind of crisscrossed into my memories and whatnot, like things that happened in the previous adaptation, things in the manga, and so on and so forth. But in any case, that's that. They weren't able to kill off Hao at that point, and I guess we are also left with the knowledge that Yo also has great potential within him, just because he was supposed to be like the other half of Hao, right? And growing a song alongside with Hao, and also unlocking potential with Hao as well. At least as far as we know right now, anyways. As for in the future, whether that comes to be or not, well, let's not spoil things at this point. And another thing that I guess kind of, even back then when when I was reading the manga and whatnot, and especially even more so right now, so many years after, is I really don't understand the entire concept of how the Asakuras want to just keep this within the family, right? Like, sure, you could argue that this is a family matter and they need to take, there's always this concept of pride and whatnot, right? Like, we have to own up to our own mistakes. This is, we are ashamed to have, to have this kind of ancestor to bring out so much terror throughout the world and so much harm to the world and whatnot. So we have this obligation, we have this responsibility. It's part of our fate to do battle against Hao and so on and so forth. But I just don't really think it makes too much sense on that part when, this is clearly a matter that is completely beyond even the Asakura's family already, right? If Hao does become the Shaman King and whatnot, this is something that affects the entire world, right? So why keep on trying to make the stand that, this is the Asakura family matter and we should handle this by ourselves, right? Especially for 1,000 years up to this point. So that never really made too much sense to me in the first place. But thankfully, at least in this iteration, right, 1,000 years later, Yo was clearly not one to be like, yeah, I just gotta take on him myself. And well, it is a shonen manga after all. You gotta have your friends, you gotta have your companions and whatnot, and all fight against Hao at the very end there. So yeah, that's, I guess, more of a comment on this sort of story setting and so on and so forth. And actually, I do recall that quite in just a few very I think it's very close now, in fact, where we will see some more evidence or some more showings of them actually working together and trying to all overcome Hao at the same time, and so on and so forth. And this is where I keep on saying this, but this is where things really start accelerating and whatnot. So and this entire tournament and whatnot, well, it's just, the funny thing is, it might also become kind of sort of a backdrop to everything else that's happening and whatnot. It's still very important, don't get me wrong, because after all, that is still the tournament that decides the Shaman King and so on and so forth. But with this sort of revelation and with numerous players and numerous factions coming in as well, we do get treated to a lot more I guess side fights and side events that are related to, but also not directly related to the actual tournament going on. So it's gonna be some fun times happening on from here. So do stay tuned, guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.